Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CPA Academy, and thank you for joining us on this day after Labor Day with the probably the most appropriate webinar we could have kicking off this week following Labor Day. That being presented by Jeff Phillips and Accountingfly and Top Public Accounting Jobs. This one specific to Dallas. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and I hope everyone had an excellent weekend. We're going to get started here in just 1 second. Let's just quickly go over, make sure that audio and visual are working. You should be able to see the first slide on Jeff's presentation with the blue border background. Let's do an audio check. Jeff, how are you today?
Hey, Matt. Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and hope you're refreshed after a little bit of a break this weekend. I know I certainly am.
For sure. Yeah. I think we need 3-day weekends just once a month. We'd all be a lot happier if we did that.
I agree with you. So I want to certainly save enough time for you today to get through all the content, so I'll quickly move through some of the administrative things. First and foremost, unlike most of the courses on CPA Academy, this class does not count or qualify for CPE credit. However, obviously extremely valuable as it helped me land you that next career move that you are looking for. So certainly valuable in that respect. It also will not be going for the full 50 minutes or to an hour. This is certainly a shorter course that will help you get you everything you need to know. If you have questions throughout the presentation, you can certainly type those into the question panel that you see and go to webinar. There are no handouts in the handout panel. Obviously, what you'll see here is what you get. We will make this recording of the webinar available later today, however, in our archive library. So if you need to go ahead and review anything, or you weren't able to take notes and want to go back and see something or share it with a colleague or someone else that you know, certainly check out our archive library later today for that recording. So other than that, I will step out of the way and turn it over to Jeff Phillips, who's been very generous with his time in presenting with us on CPA Academy and helping our members who are looking for a career change or maneuver do so through Accountingfly, which is the career center for accounting for the accounting profession. So we're very grateful to Jeff. So I'll turn it over to you. Thanks so much.
Hey, Matt. Thanks a lot, and I hope you had a great Labor Day as well. And the same goes for everybody on the call. This is Jeff Phillips. I'm calling in from Pensacola, Florida, my hometown. But today's special for me because I lived in Dallas for 7 years. If you're in Dallas, I lived at the corner of Northwest Highway and Midway Road, sort of near Ball's Hamburgers, if you know where that is, the greatest burger in Dallas, and I think they're still in business over there, right in that Midway Hollow area, kind of near Preston Hollow. Do me a favor, I want to make sure your question panel works. If you're on the call, could you just type into the question panel where you're located? I'd like to get a sense if people on the call are relocating to Dallas, and that's why you're here, or maybe you're in Dallas, but you're on this call because you're just trying to figure out what's sort of going on in the Dallas area. Oh, wow. So we got people in California. We have people in Michigan. Obviously, some folks local in Dallas. Thank you. Preston, Frankfurt. I know exactly where that's at. And in Washington, D.C. So fantastic. We, over the course of the next few minutes, I just want to really accomplish two things. One is tell you what we think you should be looking for when it comes to a public accounting job. And highlight some firms that are doing it right, and then also offer you as a way of saying thanks for being a part of this call, a special offer where we would be happy to personally connect you with some of the top employers in Dallas, and so if you'll stick around, I'll talk to you about that. I would love to answer questions as well. So now that you know how to use the and by the way, this is interesting, guys. So the majority of people on the call are out of Dallas and possibly relocating. So that's cool. Dallas is fantastic. I could actually tell you all about living in that area. So I'm a huge fan of Dallas. Big Cowboys fan too. Well, let me tell you what Accountingfly is. So think of us as Monster.com meets LinkedIn for the accounting profession. We do two things. We offer to you job opportunities on our website in a traditional job board format, and we go about 10 steps beyond that traditional format and try to educate CPAs and accountants, bookkeepers, etc., on the top jobs in the market. And we try to take a non-biased analytical approach to this so that you have the best information available anywhere. And in fact, so you'll notice that some of the jobs that I'll tell you about today aren't even listed on Accountingfly. And that's because I want to tell you about some of the top jobs in Dallas, whether they're on Accountingfly or not. Of course, I hope they will be on Accountingfly, but some of them are, some of them aren't. And while we're doing this, I will give you a link to these different firms, to their profiles on Accountingfly if they've got them, as well as their websites. You can check them out. And our hope is that CPAs will stay in public accounting and will make a contribution and work in great firms. And our other hope is that firms will step up their game and become great places to work, because that's what's going to take to keep you guys involved in public accounting. So how do you connect with Accountingfly? Really easy. You can just create an account where you have your resume posted on the site. You have two options. You can make it public so that recruiters can find you, or you can be completely discreet so that no one knows you're on Accountingfly except for the people to whom you apply their jobs. And along the way, sign up for our newsletter. So we're going to keep you constantly updated with news affecting accounting careers, major trends in the profession, and special offers that we feel like are important to you along the way. And my email address is jeff@accountingfly.com, and I welcome the chance to connect with you and answer any questions that don't come up here on the call. So let me talk for just a moment about, we kind of have this saying at Accountingfly, like we want to tell you jobs you should work at and sort of help you avoid the ones that you shouldn't. And we know that after really diving into the data and looking at what makes great places to work, it kind of boils down to a handful of key things, and we actually coach employers, coach firms, and even companies on how to be great places to work for accountants. And these feel a little bit generic, but there's a lot of data behind them and a lot of nuance behind them, but a commitment to their clients, a commitment to their employees, and a commitment to the community. What I mean by that, obviously a commitment to the clients. If you're in public accounting, you love to serve clients. That's a hallmark of professional services, and it's probably a reason why a lot of people stay, that and the variety in the career. But we want firms that are committed to the development of employees. And that means teaching them latest and greatest technology. That means teaching you leadership skills, and that means providing a clear path in your career. In other words, if you show up and work for us and you're a high performer, these are the things you should expect to happen in your career at our organization. And that's something I think you should ask for, as a job seeker, is what does the path look like? I'm an experienced CPA. I'm 2 years out of college. I've got some great experience under my belt. And if I come in here and I crush it for you, what should I expect? So we want employers that are committed to the development of your career. And we also know that it's important to be committed to the community, and not in a generic, community service 1 day a year kind of a mindset, but really a permanent commitment to the community they live in. These organizations employ lots of people. They create so much goodwill for local businesses and local individuals, and we like to see firms plug into the community, and you like to work at firms that plug into the community. All right? Culture is critical, and you want places that are great places to work. And I think also we're just looking for places that explain what their culture is. There are some accounting firms that are very buttoned down, that are very conservative. You're going to wear a jacket to work, and that's just the culture. That's fine. As long as companies explain through their websites and their job postings and through their LinkedIn profiles what you should expect, that's what we ask. The culture is critical. And we want companies that are investing in that culture. You want to work places that are investing in that culture. Technology forward, it means that these are firms that are embracing the cloud, that are embracing all the different varieties of technology and then teaching you that technology so that you are able to advance in your career. We always tell firms if a star candidate walks in and sees that you're using old technology, whether that's hardware, software, etc., they're not going to think that you're committed to the future. and why would they stick around? Why would they even want to work there if you're not committed to that? All right, and then lastly, next generation firms. That's a phrase just summarizing good HR practices, committed to the employee, committed to technology, committed to defining a clear career path for you, and looking for the best and brightest accounting talent. People that are committed to looking for the best will do the things that it takes to keep the best, and that's where you want to work. And that's where you can thrive. And in a place that's a great place to work, committed to your growth, and you in turn are committed to making a substantial contribution. And it's beautiful when it works like that. So there's a lot of great firms in Dallas. But I want to talk about three in particular that are hitting these criteria on all cylinders. So for those of you who are moving to Dallas, these are some firms that you really want to consider. And again, email me your resume, and if it matches sort of the minimum skill set that they're looking for, I'll personally introduce you to the people who are in charge of recruiting at these different firms. All right, so let's dive into this. So first off, if you're in the area, you probably know a lot of these firms: Montgomery, Kasha, Graylich, or MCG. So if you're familiar with the area, they're in Plano, right off the tollway. So really easy to get to right off the tollway. I love this firm for one reason, for multiple reasons, but one reason, if you look back at 2003, so 12 years ago, there were 7 employees. Today, there's 250. So it's become one of the top 100 firms in the country, according to Accounting Today, and one of the top firms to work for 3 years in a row by Accounting Today. So it's a place that is known as a great place to work. It's got a very defined culture, that sort of relaxed yet energetic work environment. Committed to developing people. It's a value driver. And they back that up with training and with actions, and it's committed to technology. So I said 250. I meant 320. So it's a large firm, and obviously has grown a considerable amount in 12 short years. So I think they are the 5th or 6th largest firm in the North Texas area. If I had one word to describe them, it would be culture. And this ranks high on our scales because it offers a flexible work environment. They get what flexibility means. They get what you're looking for when it means flexibility. I thought it was interesting that MCG, which was kind of hard for me to roll off the tongue for some reason, MCG. They offer a January ski trip for people in the company, and they also have a lake trip. There's a great vibe at this firm, and they've got the size to be doing important work. And just a fantastic place to take a look at for your career. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything on this. There's a lot of neat stuff, a lot of neat aspects. So they scored high on technology, they scored high on culture, they scored high on development, and not only they know what their culture is. This is the kind of place that I'd like to work because of it's focused on professional growth, but a little bit more of a relaxed culture. Let's see what they're hiring for. So couple key positions right now: the tax manager between 5 and 7 years experience, and a senior on the tax side, 3 to 5 years experience. So although they do work on pretty much all angles of the accounting spectrum, this is where they have some key needs. So if you have a background in tax with any experience in a CPA, please let us know, or please apply to these guys, or just to begin a conversation. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We've got 7 minutes left. One of my favorite firms, not only in Dallas but the United States, is Travis Wolff. We've been working with Travis Wolff since the very beginning. They're all over Accountingfly, but that's not why I'm talking to you today about them. They're on the tollway as well, up in Addison, so sort of in between Dallas and Plano, if you know that area. So a couple things about Travis Wolff. Obviously, top 200 firms in the U.S. I think they're ranked number 160, so that's based off size. Best to work for in 2014. They serve emerging companies. So they have as a startup founder, I appreciate the fact that they are working with emerging high-tech companies, but they also serve established companies and successful families and individuals. So, I mean, clients in tax, they have clients on the tax side, the audit side, clients in Texas, but also globally. So that's one of the benefits when you work in a place like Dallas, because of the gigantic economy. Even the mid-market firms are doing global work, which I think is really cool. I've been to their office, and it's one of the coolest offices in the accounting industry that I've been to. It's a little more business casual. They have a stocked kitchen, so if you ever get hungry, you have a fully stocked kitchen on site to to get to eat. A ton of benefits, a lot of community involvement. If you look at their Accountingfly profile, one of my favorite things on their profile on Accountingfly is they got pictures of their I don't know if it's a girls soccer team or softball team or what, but they do a lot of things as a team, as a company out in the community, including like intramural stuff, intramural sports. But as a business, it's a phenomenal company. It is a strong accounting firm, and they're really plugged into Dallas. It's a real Dallas area leader, and it's a fantastic place to be a part of. Rapidly growing too. They have an excellent HR sort of support structure. Cassie White from their team is just a strong HR leader, and they're part of Moore Stephens, which I'm not sure how much you know about alliances, but a lot of firms are plugged into global alliances, and Moore Stephens is a very strong alliance, and it means that if you have a client that needs to do business in China, you have access to CPA firms in China who make, extend your reach globally and make your, you have a much stronger network than you do alone. Okay, so they're in Dallas, like I said, and they've got positions across the board: tax senior, tax manager, tax senior manager, and then an audit senior. If you notice a trend, if you have between 2 and 5 years of experience in accounting, you're in fairly high demand. So for those of you thinking about relocating, that's why I'm glad you're on this call, is because hopefully we're distilling some of the best firms for you. That's why we call it this, and that way you can apply on Accountingfly, or if you want to take advantage of us just making an introduction, just send us your resume. Send it to jeff@accountingfly.com. Lastly, but not least, is KHA Accountants and Advisors. So from a location standpoint, KHA is in Flower Mound and Denton. So they're considerable north of Dallas in more of a suburban location. No commute, which is fantastic if you live up in Flower Mound or Denton, or in just Denton County. KHA has about 24, 25 CPAs on staff, a little bit smaller, 35 years, and they are rapidly growing. They are a strong organization that is poised for growth, and so this is a place that you should absolutely investigate as you're looking at career changes in Dallas. Just quality across the board. They're committed to quality service for their clients, and because of just how they've grown, how they position the firm, they have the resources to help clients on short-term projects, but also long-term projects. And they're doing everything from tax prep, assurance, consulting, biz advisory services, wealth preservation, outsourced CFO services. So serving a wide range just a wide range of activities across the spectrum for business clients. They are looking for CPAs. So specifically, they're honing in on if you have a CPA, they want you to apply. If you're not from the area, they're up in a part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex that's I'm guessing 20 to 40 miles north of downtown, probably a little bit more. If you're on the call, sorry, because I'm blanking where Flower Mound is, but it's all part of the north. It's all north of the Dallas area. And what I love about it is it's a place where you could live and have a 5-minute drive over to the office and a 5-minute drive back home without having to get on the interstate or anything like that. So let me show you what they're hiring for. And they have a fantastic office in their suburban location. It's a strong office environment and a very friendly family atmosphere. So they're looking for, if you're a staff accountant with 0 to 2 and you are on the CPA track, they're hiring. If you're a tax senior, a tax manager, or senior tax manager, anywhere between 1 and 10 years of experience, you've got the CPA, KHA is looking to talk to you. So 3 firms that I think are off the charts when it comes to culture, defining the culture but having a great culture to work for, that's technology forward, that's heavy into career development, that's going to develop you, that's going to give you a great place to engage, a great place to meet people, a great place to work, have fun, and have a career. And and in a fantastic place to stay and make a huge contribution. All right. So those are the 3 in Dallas. Let me do this. 2 things before we wrap up. I'm going to send you a link to all their sites. They all have profiles on Accountingfly, although I know that 2 of them have jobs on Accountingfly. I was thinking one of them does not. Let me ask you this: what questions do you have as we sort of wrap up here? Because we've got about one or 2 minutes. You've got my email address there at the bottom, jeff@accountingfly.com. We at Accountingfly, we have a handful of meetings today, and so if you email me, I'll get back to you before tomorrow morning. If you have the qualifications for any of these positions, I'd be happy to personally introduce you over email to the recruiters or the partners at these firms. And for those of you who are thinking about relocating, my advice to you is this: think about when you are going to be relocating, and the sooner you can begin conversations with firms, the better. The more options you have, the better, and because you want to investigate what the right place is for you. And there's a lot of variables there. It could be the people, it could be your boss, it could be the size, it could be the location. So get started earlier and don't wait. It takes months probably to sort of figure out what the right place is for you. And so our offer is make an introduction, have a preliminary conversation, and hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, why it's a great place to work and why it can be a great fit for you. All right. A couple of questions here. How do companies handle out-of-town interviews? Thanks for the question. So typically, this is just going to be like a phone screen. The company will do a phone screen, and they're going to be looking for a couple of things. From the resume, they'll see if the technical skill set is right, if the industry background is right. But these are small firms. They're not small firms, but they're smaller companies, and making great cultural fit hires is very important to them because they want to develop you, but it's got to be a great fit for them. So first round is typically a phone interview. If that's a good fit, typically they'll have you come down, and the policies depend by the firm, but a lot of times they'll fly you down for an on-site interview if you're a good fit, and then have you meet with the partners and then see if there's an opportunity to give you an offer. But first things first, I would get a resume in their hands and try to get on a phone interview with the partner in charge of recruiting, or if there's an HR person. And that's typically just a preliminary screen where you're going to sort of see if each side has what the other is looking for. All right. So let me ask you this: if there's no more questions, if you do me one favor, we tend to do these almost on a weekly basis, and we're going to do it again in Dallas. What is it that you're looking for? What did you expect when you signed up for this webinar that you didn't get, that you'd like to see us do next time? It's our hope that this is just in a long stream of valuable things that we're offering CPAs along your career path at Accountingfly, and if it's not, we really want to know. We really want to know. Let me answer one last quick question, and then we'll wrap up. I have 4 years as a sales tax auditor. I am interested in tax positions. Which position level should I apply for? Staff, senior, manager? Yeah, great question, and I appreciate your question. Really, if we're going to make a personal introduction at the firm, we'll talk to them, and you guys will work out what the right level is for you. There's certain expectations for every single level inside a public accounting firm, and so it's really going to be a negotiation between you and the firm at what level you come in. Even if you were to apply on a job board like Accountingfly, the first conversation you'd have with them would be like a level setting, where they're going to figure out sort of what level you need to come in on. Hopefully that helps, but thanks for the question. All right. We answered your questions. Thank you. And you'd like to see more controller positions and part-time controller positions. So thanks for that feedback. I appreciate that. And actually, we are reaching out to more like private side organizations as well, so that they can offer you guys more private industry type positions, because a lot of accountants, most work in private industry. Okay, that's it. Guys, email me, jeff@accountingfly.com. Check out Accountingfly. Keep in touch with us on social. Hopefully you see we are here in this for you, and hope to be a guide for you as you go down your one and only career path. We thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time, and I welcome your feedback over email. Thanks to CPA Academy for having us on the call, and we'll see you down the road. Best of luck to you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.